Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Blowouts. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I present to you the Cleveland. Now, a lot of people have been asking for cruisers lately, and there's a simple reason why I don't play cruisers. Is it because I'm bad in them? Hell no! Sorry for my language. I think hell is acceptable. But hell no! I'm not bad in cruisers. For God's sakes, I'm actually decent in cruisers. Problem is, I can't do enough fast enough to make interesting videos for you guys in cruisers. And this is going to be a perfect example. Now, obviously, when you see the results of this game, you're going to go, well, Spartan, what do you mean you can't do enough fast enough? Look at what you did during this match. Yes, but if you look at the match, I added the build to the front, which lasts, I don't know, like 7 or 8 seconds or something like that. And the total video is still under 10 minutes long. That's the problem. Every goddarn game I play is a blowout. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. Every game is under 10 minutes nowadays. I don't know what else to do. But when I play cruisers, I long for a game where I get to sit there behind an island and I have teammates spotting for me, battleships tanking damage so that I can do what DPM cruisers do best, which is light the world on fire. Unfortunately, what I end up getting is usually no help whatsoever. I got a spot with my face, which is not ideal in a light cruiser, let alone a Cleveland. But, and then I end up losing a lot of health early on, staying alive, and then doing mediocre damage somewhere in the 60 to 70,000 damage. But right out the gate, we've already got a fire. We ended up getting some decent damage. The guy behind me slapped the ever-living crap out of that Georgia. The Maya's going to be completely useless to his team, and it is the prime example as to what's wrong with cruiser players in most games. But we're going to put ourselves in the position to do our job. Now, this is something that I know a lot of cruiser players don't do and refuse to do, and I understand it. I do. Trust me. I understand why cruiser players don't play like this, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get any support. But if you want to play to win, sometimes you got to do stupid stuff. And this is one of those things. All right, I'm in a radar cruiser. My #1 priority at the beginning of the match, A, to stay alive, but B, to help get rid of the destroyer. We know that there's a destroyer in the cap right now. We're already trying to burn down the Georgia. Our Keith decided to throw a smoke screen here and is sitting in it and begging to be torpedoed. Fortunately for him, the torpedoes ran out just before they got to him. But I'm going to put myself, and they may have actually been deep water torps. I think it's a Gajimata. I think Gajimata may have a deep water torpedo, but we've got another fire. I mean, we've already put 4 fires in this game, right? Here you can see I am radaring the Gajimata because we do have a Keith here. He's in a smoke screen. He should be able to shoot this guy. Now, you got to remember, when you use your radar, it does take 5 seconds nowadays because Wargaming, in their infinite wisdom, decided that the one thing to remove these super stealthy destroyers should be delayed for your teammates. But I digress. We do manage to help get around the corner, and Cleveland does what Cleveland does, which is just absolutely yeet destroyers. And now we get to see what can only be described as the absolutely ridiculous. Tell me you're a damage build Georgia without telling me you're a damage build Georgia. Watch this shell. Blink! 5,100 damage from one shell. Bullshit. Bullcrap. Dude hit me with 3 shells and took like half my hit points. That's bullcrap. But in quick succession, we have removed one of their destroyers, we have removed one of their prolific battleships, and we have put ourselves in a position to help capture the base. This is what starts the ruffle stop. I don't know what else to say. Like, people have got to play smarter. If that destroyer had had a little bit better support, would he have survived? Who knows? If the Georgia hadn't been a complete numpty sailing broadside waiting to die, would he have survived? Probably. At least a little longer. If the Maya hadn't just turned tail and run at the first sight of trouble, could he have been useful to his teammates? Probably. But these are the little things that add up to raffle stomps, right? Everybody asks, well, what can Wargaming do about it? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what Wargaming can do. But I do know this. I keep talking about it because it is a problem. And I know that a lot of you guys don't necessarily contribute to the raffle stomps, unless, of course, you're on the giving side of it. But I'm just saying, like, These little moments at the beginning of the match where you are able to push and create these sorts of scenarios where you just completely annihilate, and they've lost both their destroyers already. 5 minutes in the game, both of the enemy destroyers is gone. Oh, and they just happen to have an Amagi who went AFK. How do we know he went AFK? Well, maybe he disconnected. We don't know. We don't know the answer. Look at the Maya, though. The Maya's going to try to be cheeky here, but I already know I'm shooting at this Amagi to get some fires going. You can see Maya's coming. I go ahead and I load up the AP. Why? Because the AP on any cruiser is fully capable of yeeting another cruiser. Yes, we're a light cruiser, but we're sending a lot of shells downrange, and if that Maya messes around, he's going to find out, right? There's the old FAFO. If you don't know what that means, look it up. Right? But unfortunately, he does turn away. He's at least smarter than the average cruiser player. He turns away, doesn't take a huge amount of damage. We're going to try to put ourselves... We are getting the permafire on the AFK player. We are going to try to burn him down. Again, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's making a sandwich. I don't know if his kid fell down a flight of stairs. I don't know what's going on. I just know he's AFK, so he's not necessarily my prime target, but if he wakes up, he can absolutely send me to the Shadow Realm. So the sooner he goes, the better. When I see an AFK ship, I like to get rid of it. Obviously, I'll prioritize somebody that's a bigger threat at the moment, but if there's nobody else, I will absolutely farm them for damage and get rid of them because you never know when they're going to wake up. These players, you never know. He could have just simply disconnected. He's trying to get back into the game right now. Who knows? But I digress. There's going to be some angry comment. I can already hear you guys seething at the mouth going, Spartan, you shouldn't say stuff like that. It's a joke, folks. What is the thing that everybody always says when somebody's AFK? It's always the same stuff. Well, you don't know. Life happens, Spartan. Maybe at the precise moment that he pressed A to join the game, his house caught on fire, his wife gave birth, and his child broke his leg. You don't know, Spartan. Could be anything. He could have a valid excuse. You know, 99% of the time, it is literally just a goofy player that doesn't want to play the game. I'm just going to throw that out there. 99% of the time. Now, here's a prime example of a cruiser getting shot by a destroyer that should know that there are torpedoes on the way, but he ends up taking a torpedo, loses half his hit points. He starts engaging our destroyer, but now he's in a crossfire between everybody on our team. He's kind of put himself in a nasty position. So we're going to try to take advantage of it. Now, the one thing that the cruiser, the Cleveland doesn't do well is land long-range shells. These shells are extremely floaty. Kind of not quite as bad as Atlanta, but in that same wheelhouse, right? It's difficult on a nimble target to land shells consistently. Now, you can chalk that up to inexperience. I haven't played the Cleveland in a long time, so it's been a while. I don't play these light cruisers all that often, simply just due to the fact that while they are occasionally interesting, most of the time it's just spamming HE and wiggling and hoping for the best and watching either your team or their team throw as quickly as humanly possible, and you end up with 50 or 60,000 damage. But I digress. When you see what happens to the rest of it, I mean, Prince Huygens toast, right? Like, he's not going to have it. And then you see the New Jersey, he's just sailing broadside, waiting to get yeeted. And somebody's obviously going to appease him. You know, they're like, oh, you're just going to sail broadside? We're going to absolutely yeet you. He shoots at the battleship to my left. The New Jersey loses all of his hit points. We do no damage. We just knock out a couple of AA mounts. And then we hit a few shells into the superstructure, hoping to finish him off, but unfortunately, we end up leaving him with just enough for the Massachusetts to get the kill. But there you go. Hope you guys had fun. This was a cruiser gameplay. Woo! So much fun, wasn't it? Did we do our job? Absolutely. Is it glorious? No. Is it fun? Occasionally. But these games just don't last long enough to make cruiser play interesting anymore. Like, it used to be, you used to get into matches where it's all battleships, you got spotting all day long because every plane spots for you. Now you don't have that, so most of the time it's just a bunch of people running around at the back of the map doing nothing, and you have no spotting, and you have to spot with your face in a light cruiser, which is never ideal. But 87,000 damage, we did our job. I don't know what else I could have done better there. 23,000 or 2,300 base XP, again, just a complete blowout. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Are you guys running into all the blowouts too? Am I just that good at the game that every game is a blowout? Now, obviously, sometimes the blowout goes the other direction. I had a match in my Cleveland right before this where it was literally a 9-1, and guess who got the kill? I'll give you one guess. But anyway, let me know down in the comments, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.